Right now, I'm gonna join this with my family. I got my kids. I promised my daughter this when she was 5 years old. They're playing the confetti. She got to do that today. Was that fun? Yeah. So, I'm just in the moment right now. I'm gonna enjoy this with my teammates, my family. And I'm just gonna be in the moment and enjoy this today. For a couple days. How about that? It's a blessing.
So he's obviously being asked about is he going to call it a career that is now complete. Aaron Donald, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, already one of the most dominant players, defensive linemen, defensive players in NFL history. In most people's opinion, the best player in the NFL right now, and he's only 30 years old. There's nothing more for him to prove. There is no hole on his resume, and that was a theme going into this game. It was win one for Aaron Donald, complete his career and his resume, cement his legacy. And so it's funny. So last week, I had heard through the grapevine, but not like ironclad enough to report it, to watch out for potential Aaron Donald retirement if he wins this game. Body's exhausted, puts a lot of work into it, nothing left to accomplish, got other things he wants to do in life, got his family, so on and so forth. I was like, wow. So I kind of snooped around, did the best I could, but couldn't really nail it down. Come to find out, he told Rodney Harrison, and Rodney reported it during the pregame show, told him, like, hey, if he walks away, it's a possibility that he retires. So that's where the questions came from. You saw him with Michelle Tafoya in the confetti. You heard him just now at the post-game podium. I think it's real. I think it makes sense.
Of course. He said it.
He said it to Rodney. He said it to Rodney. Right. But he said he was staying in the moment. Not everybody is so certain. Les Snead says he's not buying it. Von Miller said, I hear you, but this Super Bowl thing can be addictive. Which is why I'm glad Aaron is taking in the moment, because maybe in the moment he decides, damn, this feels good. I didn't know how good it's going to feel. I want it again.
But with all respect, though, can I just say that? Let me just interject for a second. With all respect, like, I don't really buy that. See, that's not a good, when people say that.
The Von part?
And it's not a personal thing against Von Miller, but when people say, no, I don't see it, because they're ultimately coming back to the way they see it.
Sure.
Hey, this thing is addictive. So maybe it's not addictive for him, and it's not addictive for everybody.
Yeah, that's fair.
Aaron Donald has a very specific reason for why he told Rodney Harrison what he told him, and it had nothing to do with, hey, I want to win 5 championships. Some guys want to win 5 championships. Some guys want to win, 3. And for some, and he could be it, it's just, hey, I want to be able to experience this thing, because that's what's holding me from saying goodbye to this game. So, like you say, well, I don't see it because I wouldn't do it. Essentially, well, he's not you. He doesn't see it the same way you do.
And that's fair. That's fair. I would also say you can only get addicted to something once you get a taste of it. And to go into a game thinking, yeah, if I win this, I'll be satisfied. I want this so bad. If I win it, I'll have nothing more to do. I'm tired. Let me make sure I got this right. 8 Pro Bowls, 7 All-Pros, all decade honors for the decade of the 2010s, 98 career sacks, universal
7
respect.
First-team All-Pros, by the way, too.
Yeah.
7 straight first-team All-Pros.
Yeah,
which is just
he's in the LT, Reggie White, Deacon Jones. Who am I leaving out? I'm sure I'm leaving out somebody. Conversation in terms of greatest defensive players in NFL history. He's on that proverbial Mount Rushmore. But you think that going into the game, that if I win this, I'm good. But this is why, whether you're Tom Brady or whether you're Aaron Donald or anybody else, maybe you need a little more time to sit with it. Maybe you need a little more time to say, you know what? I thought I was going to be done, but I want some more of that. I thought I could walk out on top. And let me tell you something. The moment he burst through the line and blew up the last play and hit and pressured Joe Burrow into that incompletion, and walked off like this, I'm like, that's a walk-off play. If there was ever a play to end a career on, it was that. That was such a fitting play to end a career on. That was as Hollywood an ending as you can get.
Well,
so that's a mic drop if you're Aaron Donald. So I felt it in the game. I'm like, because what did I tell you? Because you hadn't heard the Rodney report, because you and I were both working the pregame, so you hadn't heard the Rodney report. So as soon as he made that play, I was like, he's gonna retire. And I was like, yeah, man, like blah, 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 and broke it down to you. So I felt it in the moment that was a walk-off moment, if there ever was one. I think there is something to be said, though, for somebody thinking that they're gonna feel one way, and then when you get it and get there, you're like, well, wait a second. Now, and here's the other factor. And our boy Charles Robinson, he's always got his ear to the street. He's always kind of like,
right,
looking into the matrix and separating reality from fiction. There could be a desire to give your body a rest and to move on with your life and walk away early. Walk away while you still can walk away.
Yeah,
our man
right.
Charles is like, this dude is, I think it's the 5th, don't quote me, quote Charles, I think the 5th highest defensive player in the league, and is locked into a long-term deal. So he's underpaid.
Yeah,
now,
he signed it. Yeah, he signed it in 2018, I believe.
I look like Aaron Donald, so y'all say. I'm flattered. I wish, but I'll just go with what y'all say. I look like Aaron Donald. I resemble Aaron Donald, or he resembles me. He's younger, but he's more famous. So, okay, I resemble Aaron Donald. I've met him a few times. I know people that are close to him very well, but I wouldn't pretend to know what he's thinking. But I don't think Aaron Donald, with all due respect to Charles's reporting, I don't know that Aaron is the type to use retirement as a leverage ploy for a contract. He doesn't seem like that type to me. And do what you got to do to get your money. But I think he's a man of principle and conviction. He could be dissatisfied with his contract. Huh?
What is that type who would do it? Because I think all kinds of people who think of themselves as principled, people who think of themselves as
you're
honest,
right. No, you're right.
I mean, it's all over the place.
That kind of, you're right. But you're right. Implicit in me saying that is that there's something wrong with it. When it's business.
It's business. But I don't think this is business. I think this is something that he's thinking about, because if you look at Aaron Donald, and it's still one of the great stories of how he got to this position. He was a three-star recruit in high school because of his size, and he wound up going to Pitt because that was a school right down the road. That was like 30 minutes from his house. But a 6-foot technician is what he is, and a lot of times, people really don't see that as being an all-time great. So undersized, height and weight, but great at what he does, maybe the best ever at what he does. Maybe the price you have to pay for that is you do get beat up a little bit. As strong as he still is dealing with people who are much bigger than
multiple
he is.
People.
And
multiple at a time.
You're getting double
2 and 3 people at a time.
You're getting double teamed, you're getting triple teamed at times. It does wear you down. It's a heavy price to pay to be a all-pro 7 years in a row. You got to go through a lot of stuff. I'll tone it down, what I could say, but you know what I mean. You have to go through a lot of stuff to get to that level.
I would say it. I would cuss. Thank you very much for making me look bad.
Yeah.
Practicing some restraint.
So maybe that's it.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I'm rooting for him to retire, believe it or not. I'm rooting for him to retire.
Why?
I'd love to see I love to see people reinvent themselves. I love to see people turn a page and decide, all right, been there, done that, got the T-shirt. I've done enough. My reputation, my legacy, I'll be in Canton in 5 years. I've dominated football. I've had the perfect career. My career could not have gone any better. I don't need to give any more to this game. I don't need to sacrifice my body to this game any more than I want to or have to. And what I want to do is be with my family, be with my children, be with my wife. You know, I have another life to live that's beyond playing football. I love to see him do that. That's so empowering. I love to see, you know, and that's not to say that players who play for 15 and leave it all on the field, or there's anything wrong with that. To each his own. But I think it'd be awfully refreshing to see a guy walk away on top.
We've seen it
After that moment we just saw. We don't see it enough. A lot of times guys walk away young because they're hurt. More like a Patrick Willis was really hurt. You know, he comes
or
to
they
mind.
walk away on top, maybe like toward later in their 30s. When you say, it's about time.
Or as
like,
the case may be, 44.
Like Peyton Manning. You know, he walked away. He was a champion, but it's
but he
about
was
time.
done.
That season was
past
not
time.
great. Elway wasn't done, but he was in his late 30s.
This guy this would be different. This would be Jim Brown. This would be walking away when you're leading the league in rushing. Walking away when you are the best player in the NFL. This would be a Jim Brown walk-off.
But hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.